Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this. All right, last thing I want to do, I want to talk a little bit about Saturday's games, Saturday's schedule. I have 8 games written down that I think are all going to be really good. I have the KenPom projected spreads in front of me, so I'm going to give it all to you. T.O., we are both going to make picks for each and every one of these games. Do you think you can handle it?
It's hard for me to play both sides of the fence when I have to pick the winner.
Yeah, you got
That's
no,
my
no,
only
no,
issue
no.
with
You
this.
got you pick. You got to pick against the spread, so you could pick the loser and say
Oh,
that
okay,
they're
okay,
still going to
okay.
cover 4 points. Yeah. All
Fair
right,
enough.
we're going to start with the most anticipated game in the Big East since Ed Cooley returned to Providence, which was like 3 days ago. And by the way,
Hey, that's gone
we,
great, by the
yeah,
way.
we didn't even talk about that. I'm saving that.
Let's not talk about that. I'm over it. I'm
Well,
over it. I don't want
I'm just saving the conversation about like our time in Providence for when Fanta gets back here. Cause I want to tell some of the stories from the show that we were at and all we did there. And I don't, that,
Where is T.O. Chance? We're funny.
yeah,
Well
like
done.
I want to talk about that, but we need to have Fanta here for that because those like that was John Fanta in his element more than anything I've ever seen in my life. And it was
It's
incredible.
awesome.
All right. So we'll start with this. Dan Hurley and the UConn Huskies going on the road to take on Rick Pitino and St. John's. That game will be played not in
Oh,
Carnesecca Arena, in Madison Square Garden at the disappointment of Rick Pitino. KenPom projection.
at the behest of Rick
Behest.
Pitino.
The KenPom projection right now. UConn by 4. T.O., who you got?
This would scream Rick Pitino gets one done and talks shit the entire next 3 days. It screams that. However, I don't think they have enough. I think UConn's going to come in there. It's going to be a 50-50 crowd. There's no home court advantage there at MSG as much as Rick's chagrin, if you will. And I think that UConn's going to go in there and win. I just think they're going to be ready for that game. That's not a game they're going to have to sneak into emotionally. Like they're going to be charged and ready to go because of the energy. I think UConn wins that one, and I think they win it by 10.
Yeah, I think that UConn will win that game as well. What people are kind of discounting is how impactful the return of a healthy Donovan Clingan is. The first time that we
Oh,
saw him healthy all season long was at home against a good Xavier team, and not a great Xavier team, a good Xavier team with a great coach in Sean Miller. And that game was 38-7 at the under 8 timeout in the first half. So Donovan Clingan, a complete game changer defensively. And I'm very curious to see how the season plays out. UConn wins that game. I think you're right. It's a double-digit game. Houston at Kansas, Fog Allen
ooh,
Fieldhouse. Jeff Goodman will be in attendance. That will be one of the 3 games that we have people at on Saturday. Right now, KenPom, Houston, -5 in the Fog.
that's crazy. That's a crazy one right there. Houston wins. Kansas covers.
So I'm going to go out. I'm going to go out on what feels like a limb here and say that Kansas wins this game. I don't even need the points. I'll take the money line on this one. I think Kansas is going to find a way to win. They are 4-3 in the conference. I'm sorry, 5-3 now after beating Oklahoma State. But for the 4-3 start was the worst start that Bill Self has ever had in the Big 12, and I think that he knows it. I think that those fans know it, and I think that with the team that is currently in first place in the Big 12 coming into the Fog, you got to play 8 on 5 there, T.O. We know that.
Hey, I understand that Houston just beat Texas, and I don't think that's a good win.
Texas has
I
been
think
better. Texas has been better.
how
They're starting to actually win games instead of losing games.
they just lost to Houston and BYU. They beat Baylor at home, Oklahoma on the road, but they lost to UCF and West Virginia.
Yeah,
Are they a tournament team?
what are the two
Is
games?
Texas a tournament team?
What are those
Is
two
Texas
games? So you talked about those 2 losses at the top. You talked about the 2 losses they just got. What were those 2 games in the middle?
I said Baylor and Oklahoma. I said that.
Yeah, they won those games. So they were playing a little better, right?
Are they they're 14-7. They're 3-5 in league.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I
And look at their non-conference. Okay, so back to it. Look at their non-conference. Incarnate Word, Delaware State, 333-317.
Well,
They beat them by 30.
What was that school? What was that school called?
Incarnate Word. Incarnate. Incarnate
Incarnate Word.
That's right. 88-56. That's a 32 piece. Delaware State, they beat them by 37 or whatever. My math sucks right now. I'm No, 27, excuse me. Rice, they beat them by 16. Louisville, they beat them by 1. Hey, Texas they're on the wrong side of the bubble as far as I'm concerned. That's not a very good team. Sorry, guys. It's true. 3-5 in league. And you don't have a single marquee win in the non-conference unless you want to hang your head on an LSU win. That's it.
LSU just caught a stray there. All right. Next up, Marquette.
LSU. Yeah, I'm going to leave that alone because I like McMahon.
Marquette coming off of a really impressive win at Villanova. Tyler Kolek, 32 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, 3 steals, 5 of 8 shooting from 3.
Big East bad man.
Night. Like he came back with a vengeance. He looked like he had a point to prove there. Right now, Ken Palm is saying that they're going to go into DC and beat Ed Cooley's Georgetown Hoyas by 13 points. T.O.
Take the points. Just go Marquette.
Yeah.
Big East bad man. Tyler Kolek.
Yeah.
Take the points.
Yeah. Marquette is going to win that game. I think that they blow them out. Again, it's another one where Georgetown kind of had their Super Bowl last weekend, right? And there's a little bit of an inevitable letdown there, and there's not much to look forward to when you have one win in conference. At least you're not in last place, Georgetown.
I believe it's called a hangover.
Yes. Utah State, San Diego State, a battle of what a lot of people will say are the two best teams. This is the toughest game that I think Utah State is going to have this season. They are currently in first place in the Mountain West, and Ken Palm is saying that the first place Utah State Aggies are 4-point underdogs in the show. T.O.
It's in San Diego at Viejas. I'm going San Diego State. Just big physical. I realize San Diego State, they just dropped one, I believe. To Colorado State at Colorado State. They're going to get back on the right track there. I love what Danny Sprinkle's done. The fact that he doesn't have a single point returning from last season to this season. And then he's been able to, get that kind of record. Good for him. But the Viejas is a different place now. It's a tough place to play. It's extremely physical, and you can go man for man with Ledee and Great Osobor. So I would go San Diego State. What's the spread?
San Diego State -4. I'm going to take the points, Theo. You're going to give those points away. You can give me the points, and
you can take the points. I think it's going to end up being 6-7 points.
Yeah, I just love the matchup between Jaden Ledee and Great Osobor, and I think that Darius Brown is a guy that's been through some wars for Danny Sprinkle before, and I think that Utah State finds a way to keep this one close. I would not be surprised if they went in there and got a victory. You're an ACC guy. We got a big ACC game on Saturday evening. Tyler Hansborough will be there. He'll be in the house at the Dean Dome. Duke at North Carolina. North Carolina is projected to be a 6-point favorite in this game by Ken Palm.
Oh, this is such a quintessential, like Duke goes in there despite kind of being I'm not going to say underwhelming because they're still very good, but kind of being looked at as the immediate underdog and them coming out and just playing well. Here's where I think it plays into Duke's hands a little bit with this particular matchup in general. North Carolina, very much a jump shooting team. With Cormac Ryan. Harrison Ingram will attack some. Jalen Withers, when he comes off the bench, he'll attack some. Cadeau's definitely a rim attack guy. Not a whole lot of rim protection for Duke. But you saw it last game against Georgia Tech with Cormac Ryan and Harrison Ingram going 6 of 20. What was it? 6 of 28 combined. That can't happen. And you know that they're not going to go in there and dunk on you. So I think if there's a game defensively that it works out for, it's Duke. What's the points?
6.
Take the points. Take the points. Duke. It'll be closer than that because that game's always close. It doesn't matter. I think the all-time score is divided by 2 or 3 points or something asinine. It's crazy. Go ahead and take the points. It's going to be closer than that. It'll be last-second shot kind of deal.
That's what happens every year in one of these games. Right? There's always a buzzer beater. It's a rivalry game, and I think North Carolina is a better team. I think they're playing at home. I think they're rightfully favored, and I think Duke is going to go in there and make you some money. And if you are going to be on Duke's side of the action, Iowa State taking on Baylor. That game is going to be at Baylor.
Baylor.
It is It's Baylor -3 is what Ken Palm
Baylor.
has. Baylor.
Baylor. Yeah, Baylor's lost 3 in a row. They're looking to revamp. Iowa State is Iowa State. They're good, but I just, Baylor's shooting 41% from three on the year. They're going to have to defend better, but those last 3 games,
Well,
they've been close. Kansas
here's
State, no T. Huh?
Well, just here's what I'll say. You're 100% correct, and this is why you're 100% correct. Baylor's lost 3 in a row. Overtime loss at Kansas State,
4
last
points.
second buzzer beater loss at Texas,
2
3
points.
overtime loss at home against TCU. Right, they're basically
3
3
points.
possessions away from having a 3 from being undefeated in the Big 12. They are the best 3-point shooting team in college basketball when you factor in the percentage that they shoot and the number of threes, the percentage of field goal attempts they take from beyond the arc. Iowa State, you know what their defense is, T.O.? Keep you out of the paint, force you to shoot threes. There's only 15 teams in all of college basketball that force their opponents to take a higher percentage of jump shots from outside the 3-point line. So Iowa State's going to make a great 3-point shooting team shoot threes at home, and they badly need this win after 3 losses. Buy the dip, baby. Buy the dip. Baylor wins by a bunch. Tennessee at Kentucky. This one is, Tennessee coming off of a loss. Do you think that they can go in there to Rupp Arena and find a way to bounce back? By the way, I will be at this game. I am so excited to be at this game.
That's going to be fun for you. That'll be
12 years since I've been to Rupp Arena. Can't wait to get back.
Young team at Kentucky. They obviously haven't played. They had obviously a huge rivalry game. I feel like Tennessee's rivals with them, Florida, Georgia, the rivals with everybody. But the Kentucky-Tennessee basketball thing's a real deal. I think because Tennessee's so physical, they're going to slow the tempo. There might be a broken bone or two. And then Dalton Connect. That just feels like a game he would go for 40, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like here's kind of the matchup to watch. Him and Antonio Reeves very similar in their stats for the season over the last 5 or so games. Connect's been out of his mind, but Antonio Reeves is having a great year. He's just kind of been overshadowed by all these freshmen, the Reed Shepherds and the DJ Wagners and all those guys. Antonio Reeves has been awesome. That's a matchup to watch. I do think the Zakai Ziegler is kind of a guy that could give a freshman some problems. I think Tennessee goes up there and gets a win on the road.
All right,
and I'm probably my inbox going to be nuts, but I think it's possible that Tennessee goes up there and just beats them up.
Yeah, I'm glad that you went that way, because I think that this is the game where like Kentucky shows up and shows out. There's one thing that I would buy into with this group of freshmen is that when it's loud, when there's a whole bunch of big blue nation in that building, when that, what is it, 23,000 or whatever.
I've heard it's not loud in there.
So big games, it gets loud. When it's not big games, it can be just a little bit of like, how they talk about Carolina.
It's a theater.
Yeah, like with the wine and cheese crowd, there's a bunch of like older season ticket holders that sit lower that aren't going to sit there and scream their heads off in a 15-point win against whoever. But in a big game like this, it'll be loud, it'll be raucous, there will be energy in the building. And those freshmen, I call them, T.O., can you tell me if this is an acceptable nickname for the 3 freshmen? DJ Sheppingham.
I'm not mad at it.
Right.
DJ Sheppingham, I'm a fan.
DJ Sheppingham. I think that they're going to show up and just have massive performances here. So, I'm taking Kentucky to win. So we're on opposite sides of that duel. So that'll be interesting to see. Maybe we should put a little wager on it. Maybe
Tennessee needs to turn it into a judo match.
Yep. Last one. A game that has actually turned into one of the more fascinating games between these two programs at the top of the WCC. St. Mary's struggled a lot in the early part of the season, have really turned things around. Gonzaga have great metrics, have beaten absolutely nobody. They are not even in our current NCAA tournament bracket. They're playing each other. They are playing in the kennel. I think Gonzaga needs this one a little bit more, but it's kind of looking like this is going to end up being a one-bid league unless one of those two teams sweeps and the other one wins the WCC automatic bid. St. Mary's on the road, +5. You like them?
I do like St. Mary's, and they attack the offensive glass as well as anyone in college basketball. They're big. The only problem with them, quite frankly, Dauster, is they're one of the worst free throw shooting teams, and that was readily evident when I had their game in Idaho Falls, where it was cold, and they just could not make a free throw to save their lives. And the problem is the guys that are shooting the free throws are the guys that can't make free throws, and that is an issue, sir. Mitchell Saxon's a really good player, shoots like 55%, and he ends up at the line way too much. Dukas, ironically enough, is a 68% free throw shooter and a 37% three-point shooter. What is not translating there? I don't understand. All of that being said, I do think that they're going to give themselves chances. Gonzaga at home, this is a game that they need, like you said. I think they end up winning that one.
Yeah, I think that they probably win, but I'm going to tend to lean on the side of the underdog on the road here. I'm not buying Gonzaga. I think that they don't have enough guard play. I don't think enough backcourt play, and it feels like St. Mary's has just kind of figured this thing out. So I think they go on the road.
Hey, Josh Jefferson's talented now.
Yeah, I think they got a real chance to win. I probably wouldn't take the money line. I'll probably stick with the points there, but I like St. Mary's. They can really, really guard. And you talk about these teams that slow down the pace and make life miserable. They slow down the pace and make life miserable. They've lost one time since that December 1st loss to Boise on a neutral court. T.O., this has been a blast, man.
Game. I did that.
That was your game? Yeah, they've lost one time since you showed up. You turned around their season.
You're welcome.
Turned around.
Checks in the mail, Randy Bennett. Checks in the mail.
He should be paying you, sir.
That's what I'm saying. Check needs to be in the mail. That's what I meant. I said it wrong.
Yeah, put the check in the mail.
Put the check in the mail, Randy. Come on, Randy.
Invoices in the mail, Randy. The
invoice in the mail.
Listen, this has been fun. Hopefully, the next time you hear from us, we will have the one and only John Fanta back with us. As you guys know by now, we've partnered with BetMGM this season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we'll have special offers for the listeners and the viewers of the Field of 68 each and every week of the college basketball season. We have a special offer that will be available starting on Tuesday, January 9th and running through Monday, February 12th, the morning after Super Bowl 58. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, in honor of the big game, you can use the bonus code FIELD158 and you'll get $158 in free bets on your first wager with BetMGM, regardless of whether or not you win that first bet. Here's how you make it work. Download the BetMGM app. Sign up using the bonus code FIELD158. Deposit at least $5 and place your first wager on any game. You'll receive $158 in bonus bets, regardless of the outcome of your bet. Just make sure that you use that bonus code FIELD158 when you sign up. And remember, BetMGM is now available under one wallet in select states. As a New Jersey resident, this is super convenient when I have to go cover games in New York or Philly, which happens quite a bit. When you cross state borders, you just log into your existing account and fire away. You don't have to create separate accounts in each state. It's easy, it's simple, it's clean. And most importantly, we have some fun stuff coming up for the heart of the college basketball season. Bet insurance tokens, college hoops odd boosts, and my favorite, a nice juicy parlay boost. So download the BetMGM app and sign up today. Field 158. Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.